Do you have any questions or anything you wanted to do or?
I mean, my thing mostly for me, I mean, there's two things like music memory, I think just is with time, right? And like, so practicing with you a lot helps. As I'm like learning everything, especially like going through the scales and stuff. And like, I'm still not at a point where I can do it without you playing them on the piano, but I'm getting better. So like learning songs and stuff is, things that I want to do. It takes me a little bit longer than I feel like it should. And then the other thing is kind of like going to the high notes and stuff like around my what is that called, the passaggio,
Uh-huh.
like going from like mixed into my head voice. I feel like I have trouble with, so all that fun stuff, all that Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlakey stuff.
Are you talking about like up here? Or are you talking about where your chest voice connects to your head voice down there?
No,
What?
well, kind of, yeah, kind of like where, like whenever I'm singing a song and it's I have to go up, like, you know, go up to the high note. I feel like kind of similar to what I think is Mystic's problem, like where like with the breath and stuff, I don't feel like I'm taking the breath in the right place, and so I'm not like hitting it. I'm not like fully projecting, so I'm not hitting it fully. But also like getting used to that feeling and stuff is still a thing for me. So it's
So like this.
a lot now.
Like that high note, that A,
Yeah, kind of like
like
that. Yeah,
passaggio
probably even a
starting.
little bit higher.
That's where your
Yeah.
upper passaggio starts. So there's two transitions in the male voice and in the female voice, but they're in different places.
Hmm.
For males and females, just for everyone, if you don't know. With the guy, it's really here, and the female. Um, I just went from my chest voice to my head voice because this here is your transition. And then in a male voice, there's another one where you're going up into a higher part of your head range. And that's where he's talking about there. Females really have the same one as males, and then they have this whole range in the middle here before they get to this much higher transition up there, which is a E above that. It's pretty much the same in every voice I've ever heard or ever
Hmm.
worked with, other than maybe there's something else that happens in a baritone's voice where there's a little bit lower one that would be usually in the chest voice of a guy. Getting to this note and having it with power, I guess what you're saying is you can get to the note, but you feel like you can't belt it out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's like if it depends on where I'm starting from and like going up to it, and like exactly like as I get to like certain high notes, like I start to lose that power and I start to lose that you know, it just gets really uncomfortable. I think it's part of its breath and also like part of it's getting used to it. So
So it's pretty
okay,
high. It's a very high note for a guy. So,
okay.
ah, wait till I finish because
Oh,
we're
sorry.
both going at the same time, so I can't hear you. But
Okay.
just that, but go to that high note and then sing it how you would normally sing it. I guess if
Okay.
you're talking about it.
Okay. Was that close?
Yeah, you're on,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
the vibrato's nice, and the note sounds great. Okay, so what's the problem with it? You want to sing that note with more power?
Yeah, I guess so. I think maybe that's what it is. Like, as how you go to the high notes, like how your voice tends to thin out, I guess. And I think I want a little bit more power behind my high notes. Is I think ultimately what I'm saying.
Okay, so I have a perfect exercise that will help you do that, I think. So
Okay.
it's called Messa di voce. Basically, it is, and we've done it before. You just do this on all different notes throughout your range. It means placement of the voice, and the exercise is just like this. So you could do it on any note, and this will help you get more power on high notes too, because it's really developing breath control as far
Mm,
as your diaphragm goes, engaging to keep the note going. And it's considered like a super advanced vocal exercise, but you can do it whether you're a pretty advanced singer anyway. So, but it wouldn't matter. Even if you weren't an advanced singer, it's not going to hurt your voice. So I'll just demonstrate on like something in the chest voice range. So we're going to go, I'll do it on off. So it's, doing is I'm slowly fading in on the volume. I'm holding the same note, and then I'm slowly fading out on the volume. And it takes a lot of control and sort of pressure there from your diaphragm to do that, which is the muscle that's going to power your voice up there. All right, so go ahead and try it on any note. Try it on this.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Do the note one more time.
I'll give you this. Let's do this. Same note I did. It sounded like a rocket ship taking off in the middle or something. Okay, so that exercise I think is really helpful. You could try this on a higher note in your head voice. So, we'll go. It's gonna be probably as you get to the top of your range before you go through that transition into your higher head voice. It's gonna get stronger. So like. Great. But the idea is that you're not actually wavering on the note. You're not adding any tonal quality to it, and you're just fading in and out. Try up there on one of these.
Okay.
Okay, so you'd need to do this like if you do it, I've seen it with people where if they're doing it regularly every day for 10, 20 minutes, their voice starts getting a lot more power on higher notes. So I do think it'll help. So
Cool.
let me give you another thing. So we're going up here. So the only difference between those two, and if you can hear the difference on Zoom, the second one has a lot more force and power. And what I'm doing is I'm just engaging my diaphragm in a way that I wasn't on the first one. It's just getting engaged. It tenses up, and then it's pushing more air in a bit more forceful way. Try it. See if you can do this. So start here. First, do it how you were doing it. Now, being aware of your diaphragm, feeling it, even maybe putting your hand down there on it. Okay, so.
Damn it.
It takes not being self-conscious. Okay, so and also you're not going to be yelling. You're just going to be singing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it had more power. Okay, try it one. Try it like one lower. So. Just do this one note. Yeah, that's getting more of it. So I think you just have to kind of start slowly increasing the volume on those notes. They're placed in a good spot, so you're not gonna like hurt yourself by doing it. You're not really pushing your chest voice up into your head voice to do it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, that is the risk of like injuring your voice is when you're really belting with your chest voice way up in those notes.
I think that's another thing that brings up another like great thing. Like that's a tendency I know for a lot of singers. I do that myself where I'll want to pull my chest voice up and like try to like push in that area, and like it doesn't sound the way I want it to. It's not as easy as it should be. So I mean, I guess what's the best way to not do that?
The best way is to not think about it, I guess, is your chest voice or your head voice, to think about getting the note to actually have clarity and resonance where it's sitting in a good spot. Because as I'm going down, there's more resonance happening. I can feel in my chest. But the note up here is in the head voice range. I'm not thinking about it as either one. I mean, once you've got it placed good,
Hmm.
meaning um, you're not pulling your vocal cords out to an extreme extent to get to it. You're not you're in your head voice. I mean, you basically you're in your head voice on that note if it's resonating in a good spot. You
Okay.
couldn't. I don't even know. I guess there are rock singers who will push their chest voice all the way up there, probably, and they're
Well,
pulling their vocal cords really, really out. You know.
well, you know me, I listen to like tons of Mariah Carey, and she's going from low to high, back down to low, back up to high. And so I think that those are kind of like habits that over the years that I've kind of like, this is the way it should sound. And so I think that that's kind of the bad habit that I've built. And so like working with you and stuff has helped me reduce a lot of that and fix a lot of it. But I'm still doing some of it. So we're getting there.
There's no way to actually learn how to sing without imitating other singers. I think anyway. So that's what people do.